like to make a motion to purchase and install the security cameras in Borough Hall as proposed in the chief's security proposal.
Do we have a second?
With the same provisions installed in 2010. If it needs to have whatever process has to go, the chief will endeavor to do so.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion from council?
Well, I recognize that there are security concerns at Borough Hall. I think it's premature to jump into the need for video cameras at this moment. I think we need to engage in a real analysis of what the needs are and what the most appropriate approach to those security questions would be, and cameras may or may not be the answer, and so far I am unconvinced. So I would recommend doing a security analysis of Borough Hall, but not to vote immediately for cameras.
I just wanted to get a little bit more clarification on the actual cameras. I don't have the chief's proposal with me tonight. How many cameras and where were they going to be placed, and how are they going to be monitored, and so forth?
This is a... Oh, Tom, Dennis, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I know that there's either 1, 2, 3, or 4 women working in Borough Hall at any given time, and if Pat is there by herself, she cannot see who's coming in and out of the building. Those, for example, the lavatories are considered public lavatories. Anybody can come in, and people do come in and go out. And sometimes she's back there by herself. It's very difficult. If she had a monitor so that she could see the door, that's really the main concern there. We'd like to be able to see who's coming in and out of the building just for security purposes.
So it's a single fixed position camera at the door of Borough Hall?
Externally.
Single fixed position camera, so we can see who's coming in and out.
That's the only camera. Is there any internal cameras?
I don't believe there was a
I
proposal.
thought there was more than one.
Was there? There may have been.
Oh, there's two interior fixed position.
Okay.
And one exterior, the
Which
single exterior one.
Okay.
Concerns about relying on video cameras such as have been discussed, and how as the information has been coming to us about who's going to see them and where they're going to be seen and so on, if no one is sitting in front of a monitor watching the cameras at all times, as far as being any kind of security help, they won't be. If this is storing information for 14 days, as the chief pointed out at our last meeting, so that you can go back and see who came in, that's not going to be very helpful. If the problem is to see who has come in the door, by the time they're in the door, having seen them on the camera is not going to be very helpful. I think we need to look at things like making I know we need to make the exterior door open and available to the public so that they can use the restrooms, but the door that goes to the inner area where the administrative offices are doesn't need to be open all the time. If someone is back there by themselves, there's no reason why that door can't be kept locked with some sort of intercom or something like that, so that the ability to allow someone to come in or not come in. I'm concerned that, and then of course the other part is, if you're not sitting in front of the monitor, someone walks in, you didn't see them come in, so you actually have no protection at all. That's why I would like someone who to look at Borough Hall, to listen to the concerns, to look at the layout of Borough Hall, and determine what is the best way to provide security for our administrative staff.
I tend to agree with that sentiment. I'm not sure what the proposal for the cameras at Borough Hall really succeeds in accomplishing, for the reasons I think just said by Julia. But more to the point, there seem to be some low-tech ways of dealing with it also, such as locking the door or having the barrier that a lot of municipalities have and police stations have, which is that glass and a place that people can communicate but not physically access. And just from seeing some of those other settings, I can imagine the setup with Borough Hall being one where the door is capable of opening from the inside but locked from the outside, with a half door and perhaps some sort of security measures in the nature of glass or not, but to provide that separation between the public area, purely public area, and the office area. And that just seems to be a low-tech way of approaching it, but the easy answer of cameras doesn't strike me as necessarily the best answer, and that's what concerns me. So while this is certainly well-intentioned, I'm not sure it accomplishes anything in the end, and I agree. I think maybe taking a little more time to study it and have someone who perhaps could give us some objective insights would be helpful. So we may come back to a camera proposal, but at this point, it just seems a little premature. Maybe we should try a little low-tech that could even be less expensive.
Call the motion on the Borough Hall cameras. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Nay.
4 in favor, 2 opposed. Motion passes.